Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's happy Monday. Happy for some. Thank God I woke up for others. I wish I could go back to bed for some. But either way, if you're listening to me, you're here. And we thank God for that. And I'm grateful that God woke me up this morning. I have heard from one child through by text. I have not heard from my son, but I pray that he is fine too. And sometimes, if I get a little heavy or feeling a little bit, whatever it is that I'm going through, I just decide to pick this thing up and just kind of talk myself through it. And what it kind of means is you kind of just feel close to tears for a lot of different things, or overwhelmed with anxiety. But I'm not letting it take over. I'm not going to allow it to control my day. A lot has taken place in this time of trying to heal, as far as for, just different things. One was weight loss. I did suffer. It's not a suffer, but it is a suffer, because there's a way to do everything in a healthy form, But as I was going through this thing, I believe there was some severe anxieties and depressions and traumatic events that was, because of the traumatic events that was going on, that was just kind of taking me over in a way where I just didn't feel like eating a lot of times, just was more or less in my own thoughts of how to fix things, how to make things better, and wrapped up mentally in that. How am I going to get it right? How am I going to make it better? Why am I hurting every day? Why is my body doing this? This is unfair, that's unfair. Why can't people actually do better, treat you right, whatever? But in the grand scheme of things every day, it's really not for me. I'm not going to try to make people do anything, or I'm going to be me. I'm going to treat you right. I'm going to love on you if you let me. If you don't and you choose to go the other way, that's fine. If I get locked into a corner with where I was talking to you yesterday in systemic racism, or racism in any kind of shape, form, or fashion, if it's in a place where I can't do anything about it, I am going to learn what to do about that. That is something that I'm working through in therapy, and I am going to take some other avenues to find out what to do about those type of things. But I have kind of decided, and I don't know exactly what to do out in public yet if I'm confronted, because it's not like you really, that I feel that somehow, I kind of feel like right now we might not be heard, believed, or I don't know that people will have to face the justice. We can say it, but it doesn't seem that sometimes justice is served. So I've kind of told my children, I don't know if it's right, wrong, or what, but I've told myself, if I run into it in the streets, that I'm turning and walking away. I'm leaving the situation. I asked my therapist, is that running away? I don't know what it looks like to someone else, but I have a family that I love, that I want to see again, that I want to talk to again. I need them like they need me, I think. So I don't want to play close to that stuff that's happening out there in these streets. I'm not going down all them roads right this minute. And I know I say that a lot, but sometimes you just don't get the pain that comes along with watching some of this foolishness. It's unbelievable. And it's becoming so normal to people that it's almost becoming acceptable, like just another person going, oh, well, they had to go to jail. They shouldn't have said that, or whatever. I don't know what protection looks like for me and my family right now. So I've told my son, which I've had to tell him for years. I've gone through a lot of things with him, just trying to keep him safe. But I have had to say to myself recently, and I said to him, I don't know if it's right or wrong, go the other way. If somebody starts talking to you crazy, don't respond at all. Even if you're right, leave, run. And that might sound horrible, but I don't know what else to do. I don't even know if running will help, because it seems like to me, if y'all can't get your point across, you run behind us, and then when there is a response from us, then we're wrong. But my choice is to live to see another day and to be at peace. And if being at peace means I need to get away from you quickly until I learn better, and tonight I might feel a different way, tomorrow I may learn that that's something else, something different that I can do. But right now it is, I have to go the other way, because it seems like to me nobody's hearing anybody that looks like me, and it doesn't seem like we're believable, or that, you know, that there's going to be fairness across the board 100%. I don't want to fall into the percentile of, you know, that little slippage of whatever it is that's happening. I don't know. I don't want none of that in my life. None of it. I don't know what it looks like behind jail, and I don't want to find out. I don't want to know what's back there, and I don't want to know how it feels for somebody to get to mistreat me and then go and sit in front of the courts and sound like I did something horrible, that I'm sitting there trying to explain myself. No, I didn't do that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Or it didn't happen that way. Or I didn't say it that way. No, we're not. I don't want none of that. So those type of things that, you know, you're making, it's those kind of things and those kind of roads that sometimes our minds have to travel on a daily basis. And I don't know if you really realize just how much work that is too, to try to keep everybody safe on a daily basis, because you don't want the phone call. You don't want to be a part of the news. You don't want to watch it really, but you definitely don't want to be a part of it in any kind of way. So it's always, you know, oh, what's happening over there? I can't go over there, you know. It ain't nowhere to go no more, because it's reaching and digging into every secret place. It's coming into people's homes where they should be safe. It's always kind of bothered lots of people that look like me in their vehicles. But now, you know, you gotta even be careful in here, in what you call home or your place of dwelling, that somehow you don't offend the next person, or not mistaken. It's not the wrong door getting knocked on, and they don't listen to you, that, hey, I've been here all day. I ain't been nowhere. Or whatever it is the case, you know. Numbness is what people are starting to feel. And that's not just other people, that's everybody. Everybody's starting to feel numb, because some of this stuff is coming out of left field. And you really don't know what to do to survive to the next day. So you just have to become either cold, numb, or you're in a survival mode of kind of, you know, making it like it didn't happen. I don't know. But either way, sometimes, you know, when I get into these like things, I just wish that other people could think and feel other people in their moments and what they're having, the tragedies and the moments of what kind of foolishness we got to think all day, all night, just to try to be, just to live. Um, you know how many times, I ain't saying my kids were perfect or I was perfect. None of y'all were either. But I've been on the phone with my son. He's driving to church or driving because he used to play the guitar for several churches. But coming home, he just gets pulled over for nothing. And this is when he's a teenager. I tried to make sure at that time, I tried to get him cars that probably, it's gonna sound bad, but possibly didn't look like it might have been us driving it. Whatever that looks like, but you know what I mean. So I would tell him, put the phone down. We had a routine. I had to teach my kid, like other people, a routine. Don't have the phone in your hand, even though it's probably illegal, or that you record the situation. Put the phone down and just let me listen. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Do not take them off. Comply. Do it. He would do it. They would talk nasty to him sometimes. Sometimes they would be like, well, do you mind if we search your car? And of course, he knew the law, and he wasn't me on this. I possibly would have said, yeah, search it. I don't care. But he wasn't going down for that because it's not fair. Why? I'm just trying to go home from church. What's wrong? But not only would they search the car, they would bring the dogs to what I think was my 17-year-old son at that time. While I'm listening. That was a long time ago, but it's bothersome. Why? Because you shouldn't have to teach your children that. You're teaching your children something that they should never be a part of, how to be less than, how to take down, how to succumb to some type of stuff that should never touch our lives. It should never be a part of anybody's life. Grow and be normal and learn what you can and treat people right. Not make sure when you get out there, you got to be better than. Don't say this, don't say that. Make sure that you kind of don't, possibly like they used to, don't look at them in the eye or look at them in the eye. Which one is that going to be? Is it going to be, look, I'm a wholesome guy, I'm a man like you are, or I'm a woman like you are, or is it going to be looked at like, oh, were you being defiant? I'm not sure. I didn't know what to tell them to do. So my thing was just do whatever they asked you to do, which did not lead down the best road sometimes in the way he was spoken to. So they would pull all the stuff out of the car, guitar, amplifier, whatever he had in the vehicle. They didn't put it back in the car, by the way. When they say you can go, because there's really nothing they found. Have a nice night. With a smirk is the way they left it. But they left him on the side of the road with his stuff. That's not cool. So you got generational kids that are being treated this way, and then they start to rebel because they want you. Some people are not going to allow that to themselves because they're sick of it. They are tired that you did that to their uncle, their granddaddy. This is why sometimes the kids are standing up. They're not standing up in the right way all the time, but they're standing up because they feel like you did that to them. You're not doing that to me. And sometimes they lose their life behind trying to be a strong person. I wish somebody would tell me that what the answer is, because I've seen people bow down. I've seen people stand up. I've seen them get lawyers. I've seen them not have lawyers. I've watched it from a distance, because I ain't really never, and I don't want to be a part of it, but I've watched things from a distance that there seems to be no answers to right now. And I don't know what to tell anybody anymore, except that, and this is the better thing, and I keep making it the last thing, but it should be the first thing. And the only thing is that what we have is the Lord. And the Lord is the only thing we have. I just wish that society would say, I don't want people to be treated this way. And if I see it, I'm going to get involved. And if enough people that don't look like me did that, it would seem like it would stop. Or, I mean, what's the other alternative? Because it ain't seeming like people are getting better at it. Like, it seems like to me it's becoming more prideful to do it. And there's so many more stories that I could tell, but I didn't mean to go down that road. Either way, today is a new day. And we have the choice of how we're going to treat our brother and sister. And your brother and sister looks like me, even if you don't look like me. I am still your brother and your sister, regardless. And when that great trumpet shall sound, when that happens, it will not matter what's on the outside. This is what's going to matter, your heart. So I employ us all to work here, you know, and today, one person, try to make that one person smile. One person today. Or whatever it is your act of kindness is today, you know, that I want to play a part in being a good listener. Or whatever it is, you know. I know there's a lot of people with my story, and I haven't even told a third or quarter or nothing of it, and I try to probably still talking in incomplete sentences, a little bit of riddles, because I don't exactly feel real safe to communicate these feelings. But I do want you to know that you can take possibly a regular American citizen who grew up where there was probably 6% me and other ethnicities, and the rest of the people look, they were Caucasian. And I loved people. And I had friends that didn't look like me, and I love them today. And I hope they really love me, and that the world wasn't allowed to infiltrate their hearts. Because when we're children, when we're small, for the most part, because I saw even sometimes tiny children had that stuff inside of them. Something was teaching them. But when we're little, we're not exactly understanding that entitlement that sometimes is taught, or that slightly feeling better than others, because sometimes I don't even know if people realize it doing it again, versus the outright racism. So, but anyway, kind of lost my point there, which happens when you've been traumatized. You go through a lot. And sometimes mind and your emotions can be in a lot of different places. But it's all going to a place, a good place. It's going to a place of healing, because I'm determined to heal, and I'm not going to allow what other people try to do to me. I'm not going to let that. It has overtaken me to a certain degree, but you don't win every day. And I'm not going to just let my life go into it. I'm not going to just give over to depression and to the fear of everyday living like I had in the past, because that doesn't do any good either. So again, it's going to be days that I just come up here and maybe some things make sense, maybe some of them won't. But my communication is really for me, and it may be for someone who is going through like me, where they don't know what to do right now. They don't know how to feel, how to be. I'm a regular human being. I just want to live. I just want to love. I want to be loved. And, if I did or people do something wrong, being taught to do something right is generally accepted easily if you're willing to teach, sometimes in maybe a little different way, because it's usually received differently. Every type of person usually receives things differently, because in my household, maybe my parents spoke this type of way or that type of way, and so I learned to hear things a different way than maybe your family did. But my parents loved me like yours did, and they wanted what was best for me too, so they taught me to basically not see color, and I don't. I am forced sometimes to see some things because I'm reminded often of who you think I am. Or don't get out of place in a way. Or just remember that you're okay. You're one of the good ones. So we tolerate you, but only to a certain point. How did this even come to be? And I have even, some stuff I'm on until I learn how to say some of it. I'm going to just say it to the therapist, because, articulating some of my feelings, I probably don't want to put out here for everybody in the whole wide world. And again, it ain't really nobody even going, no views have been made of videos. And I'm, again, good at fine with that, because it will run across at some point in this life the right person that needs some type of word in the moment where they feel so helpless, so unheard, so wanting a better way of life or a better way of thinking, and to be better, and to maybe show someone, that I was going to say show someone that you're a good person, you're worthy. You can't do that either, because people really, I did that. That's a bunch of work too, that really don't get you nowhere. Live for the Lord. Be kind. Truly think about your next move before you make it against someone else. Really, really try to love and be a loving person. And I know that's like flowers and daisies and all that stuff or whatever, but the alternative is to tear people down. And you're doing it bit by bit. Either pretending not to know you're doing it, or knowing exactly what you're doing, and you talk about it around your table and it's okay. Not knowing what You just sent this woman or this man home or this child home to have to be talking around their table, and it's traumatic. And then they're teaching the people around them this trauma. I'm gonna mention this one thing. I didn't know the story, because I have gotten, so majority of the time when I hear stuff online, I got to hurry up and stroll through it while I'm going through this process myself. That little girl that was walking home from school, who had just finished playing on the playground, I caught a little bit of the story. What do you think she's going through today? How do you think she slept that night? Is anybody offering her the right type of counseling? Is anybody looking out for what that done inside of her or could do to her in the future, or her children? Because she's going to have to talk about it. And then we're going to be raising another generation of awareness that really is fear and all that comes along with it. And look up what these things do to people. She was a little girl and you put them cuffs on her. Well, it didn't look like she was running. She looked like if you said stand there, she would do that. Let me call your parents. What's their phone number? Let's get your mom and daddy down here. She is underage. And then all we do is move to the next situation, and we just let it keep compiling and doing more to people and their families and their generations. And we're just saying, basically, did you die? You lived. Stop being so sensitive. That was a traumatic event. It was trauma all the way over here to look at it, even to the short degree that I did, because I understood what she was going to feel later on, the next day, today. I don't ever really like talking about these things. Back in the past, I might have chose one person to talk to stuff about, or maybe I just always acted like it's not real, even though it was happening. I was so just determined that it's not going to bother me, and you're not going to get under my skin, until it happened enough, back to back and daily for years, until it's under your skin, until you watch enough and you know in your heart of hearts, these people are doing nothing wrong. They are existing. And it's tragedies happening in moments. All we get is a couple of seconds of an explanation or some portion of whatever it is they want us to see, and we never talk about it again. It's never revisited, or if you do revisit it, it's generally in between. You're comparing it to the next situation that just happened, that now you got to try to make sense. or you put it together with whatever little sliver of their life you've seen, and you come up and draw up a little bit of a conclusion as to who they were, what kind of life they lived, and possibly what kind of life they deserved, or that might have been how they knew they were going to die anyway, or how, I don't know. Do you just hate? What is it about brown? What is it about this skin? What is it about this that's so, that makes you feel that it's so derogatory? What? I don't look at black as being, matter of fact, black is really my favorite color. The color black, it's so regal to me. And it has nothing to do with the color of my skin. It's just, I really love black. I like a lot of the colors, but black and navy blue just happens to be two of my favorite colors. I think they're just so deep, and, you know, especially when they're deep and really, really crisp. But it seems like if you start talking about dark colors of skin, it's negative, and there's something wrong with it, and it's put into a negative light first. You either got to hear how somebody talks, walks, where they live, to see if they're worthy of even being believed, or for you to communicate with at all. Like, let me see just how. Where'd you come from? Where'd you say your dad did? Oh, okay. What's your last name? Let me see maybe where you were born or originated from. Yeah, people have asked that. Where did your last name come from? As if they were trying to see what plantation that back in the day. I don't know. No, that was thrown in there. I really don't know that. I do not know that. But what in the world? Because it seems to give some relaxation, either once you find out where my family came from, or what my dad did, or didn't do, whatever. It seems to change things about how you're about to get treated, you know? Yeah. Anyway, I really don't expect to get any answers to sometimes these questions that I ask, because I don't think that y'all even know. I don't even think you even understand what you're doing most of the time when you treat people these ways, and you put them in these boxes, and then you watch them fight their way out, and then when they come out completely swinging blindly, you want to know why. Survival. Some of it is straight survival. Unlearned survival too. Not knowing how, okay, can you tell me how to sculpt it, how to make it work? Because I'm in fight or flight right now and I don't really know what to do. Or for me, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to talk to this therapist, and I'm going to try to be calm, because I don't want anything to happen to me physically. I don't want anything to happen to my children. So I just have, my fight and flight looks like this. And other people's look different. But I don't think I understood that until I was in the trauma myself, to where I couldn't fight, or in a place where my fight is so hard that it's bothering me. And now I understand. People are responding to generations of pain, not even realizing that a lot of the pain is coming from, too, family is teaching us, trying to teach us how to just live, but they're teaching us basically, don't do this because you're going to be looked at. Don't do that because I feel that might be a little bit of self-hate. I don't know, just a little bit. They just want to keep us safe, but they're also reminding you of who you are. You can't do this because, no, you can't wear that. You better cut your hair because of. You better make sure that when you go out that you're extremely presentable so they won't mistaken you for this, that, or the other walking down the street. You better make sure that you work harder and give all you can, because you always got to be the best at what you do. Well, you can give up your nights and your days. You can give up all your free time because you really care, or you really want someone to be a little impressed, or at least maybe put you in a category of being slightly equal. No. And generally that'll come with some negativity too. You'll be, now you this, that could get deep too. Stress and anxiety has possibly caused generational diseases and health issues. Racism in all forms, abuse in all forms, causes all kinds of disease. Lots of people that look like me and people that look close to being like me, some of these major diseases, we are plagued with them first. Not first, but they generally, the ratings of us getting them is much higher. Think about why. Think about when you start as a child being told, make sure. Or you're reminded as a child, you can play with this one, but you can't play with that one. Whether you're at school or whatever. Because that wasn't taught at my home. But you are reminded that, you can go to this house, but my mom won't let you come over here because, because because I'm black. What does that mean? As a kid, I'm black. I just want to come and play whatever. At the time, I loved dolls, so I just want to play soccer, and I want to play volleyball, and I like playing baseball, and I love playing football. And guess what? I love playing tag and freeze tag. I love playing dodgeball. What were we gonna do over there that made it different? What was my being over there gonna create that makes your mama or your daddy say they can't come over here because they're black? You're black. Y'all need to think about these things. I thought about them even as an adult raising my kids. I want you to love who you want to love. Yes, I was concerned when my son, if I may be honest, was dating somebody that didn't look like me. I was concerned about where was he going and was he accepted in that household. So there, I definitely, because I definitely asked those questions because my concern is I need him to come back home unhurt, unscathed, anything. I don't want you to do nothing to him because he loves your daughter. I love her, but when he comes over there, are you going to love him? That could get deep because, I could go into, did you eat their food? What did you eat? And are you sure it was okay? Because when people hate, they do things that are hate generated, hateful and evil things. Look at how deep you making a parent had to think in every way. This is happening everywhere. Why, when an African American gets a disease, does it run rampant? Think about it. Possibly because you've been stressed out and anxiety filled, or trying to do your best from the time you were born. Over and above where you should have to now. Over and above, you're always trying to be an active overachiever to do whatever it is you're doing. You're always trying to say, I'm okay, I'm a good one, I'm good, I'm a game player. What do you want to do? I want to do what you want to do, as long as we're going to be all right doing it. I asked a friend who I love dearly, and she answered honestly, that don't look like me. Had she ever been in a store and was followed, or like when she goes in the store, did you ever feel like you had to start, like immediately you almost want to come in like with your hands up, like, I'm not going to get anything, I'm not going to steal anything, but I'm going to go back here and get this, whatever it is I need, and I'm going to bring it up here to the front and I'm going to pay for it. Did you ever experience anything like that as a child or an adult? The answer was never. Never? I said never. I had to go back in the store a few times until I learned it when I was a little girl, because I might have went and bought like a bag of chips or a candy bar or the whatever, something, some windmill cookies, whatever. Could get a bag because my mama never wanted me to start walking out of a store without a bag. I need you to show that you purchased that you went past that counter and stopped. Where I felt like, oh, I'm gonna eat this candy bar almost before I get to the car. So, I don't need that man's bag, or whatever, Or it's one simple item and I can carry it. No, you're not gonna just carry that. You go back in that store and you get a bag. Why? Because back in the day, in her times, I'm pretty sure there was times when people left with apples or potatoes or whatever it was, and then they got blamed for stealing. Or maybe they paid for 3 apples. They really paid for 4, but somebody said they took one of them and they don't have their receipt or a bag or whatever it is. So we had to come out with everything that went along with that purchase. As an adult, there was a time when I still do love linen, but there was a time when I loved this certain type of linen. And it was sold at these stores on the beach. Beautiful, beautiful, nice little, cute little stores that had, some of them may have been like boutiques, but a couple of them might have been more of a beachy theme with a little bit of a hippie vibe to it. And I just love those type of stores. They had stuff in it that I really like. Mind you, I did grow up in kind of a place where those things were presented, and those were the things that were presented to me more often. So of course I drew a love for those things, which made, when I went other places and my kids went other places, made people question where y'all came from. But I went in these stores and I went in with an open mind, like I'm just looking, because I was so desperately wanting these linen. I really wanted white and just kind of a baby blue. So my focus was, I'm going straight to wherever I was told this linen was. Sometimes it was a little pricey, so I might have had to wait and come back. But I went and I saw it, and then I knew I had to come back. So I had already learned, because of the way I got treated from the door, that, you're not going to be asked to leave. But that welcome mat was not there. And because of where I grew, I kind of knew what it was, and so I didn't really care. I want this linen. Y'all go ahead and act like you won't. I didn't know little parts of that, little moments of that stuff was seeping in, that who you're telling me I am. You're telling me something. Every time you treat me like this, you're telling me so. You're speaking something to me. You're speaking something out loud without saying a word. But I would come back, and I would almost come back, trying to say, but I wouldn't say it out loud. But sometimes I would say it real short. I'm not going to take anything. I would say, I'm not going to take anything. I just really want these linen pants. I'd kind of mumble it like that, right? And it would make myself laugh. It was my moment, because I was generally sometimes by myself. So I would say these things to myself so that I could get through the moment. And that, because I couldn't find this linen at the time anywhere, so y'all can act like you want to act. I'm coming in here to get these pants, and some of the places is just outright a little bit nasty. When a person tells me they never felt that, I would like to know how that feels. To never be met with that. That's what some of you get to do. You get to grow and learn and love and evolve without having to explain, even in silence, who you are, what your purpose for being here is. Who are you? Are you a good one or are you a bad one? Are you going to steal from me? Should I run? Should we all come over and help you right now? Because why are you here? That's why sometimes, as soon as I believe, yeah, I ain't going into that. Yeah. We are human beings who would love to just be treated equally and truly looked at as equally. And I really don't. Every time I say that, it just baffles me as to why you think that we aren't. Because we say ain't, can't, bruh, the instead of the. Because what? What? I don't, I don't know that you can make me understand that. Because I don't think you know. If it's a purity thing, what is that? You can't tell me from the beginning of time there ain't somebody's blood, Caucasian, everything running through these veins, and you got some of me running through yours. Guarantee you. I don't care what they say on that little app or whatever that thing is you send your blood in. It's some of everybody in everybody. And what difference does that make anyway? And who says that because of that your blood is pure, because you feel that the color of your skin is brighter? Who came up with the rules that states that the way I look is damning and the way you look is worthy of praise? It's the grand almighty. Where in the world did all this come from? Why did you get these thoughts in your mind? And you need to let them go. Be grateful for this diverse world that you live in, and you get to meet people that think different, walk different, talk different. How about find out why that whatever person is living like that and talking like that when it's very, very bad? Well, why don't you try to find out or get some help over there to find out what might be wrong going on over there, that they may need some real counseling, a big pick me up, because at this point people are damaged. It's a lot of damage that has already happened. So now it needs to be a whole lot of damage control. I didn't say killing of innocent people. Anyway. These are only some of my stories. Sometimes they might come out well, and sometimes they might be a little bit over here and a little bit over there, but sometimes that's where my head is right now. A little bit over there trying to survive, a little bit over there trying to survive, and remembering things that has happened and the things that I don't understand, and they all kind of run together because it really all doesn't really, it shouldn't be a conversation, because I'm thankful for today. I'm thankful that I'm able to be here and to communicate some of my thoughts, that I am in my right mind. I thank God that I have blood running warm in my veins, that He gave me another chance today. I'm grateful that He loves me, and I'm thankful that He's my God and the head of my life. I pray for every one of you that have a derogatory way of thinking towards anybody that's different from you. I pray for myself in that way too. If any way I'm passing judgment, oh God, every way that I'm passing judgment in any sort of way to the weak or the strong, I pray for forgiveness. I pray that you give us the sight to see that, the insight to see that we're doing that, and so we can make a better decision the next time. And if there's a way to make a person feel whole today, that you will show us how to do it and continue to give us a glimmer of hope every single day. So, your story matters. Love you.